everybody. So
Hello, hello,
welcome
hello.
back. Today we have
Hey,
Chris.
Hey, ladies, how you guys doing?
hey.
Oh, we're good. So don't worry. From another Nigerian to another,
I
we're going to
know,
be
I'm really
asking you
excited.
very serious questions
I
today.
know, I
Yes.
know. We got three Nigerians on the internet right now.
Right.
So, so before we go into the interview, obviously you have to introduce yourself because they didn't do any
hmm
introductory episode this season. So just tell us a little bit about yourself.
About myself. So, I was born in America, and when my father passed, I moved to Nigeria. So I lived there till I like about 7, going to 8, and I came back to America. So my origin, my roots, my child development was all in Nigeria, and then I always go there every December. So my background is engineering. I was an engineer for 7 years. And then I got into real estate. So in our culture, it's like engineer, medical doctor, education. So I did
Lawyer.
that to make my family happy. And so I transitioned to this. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. Let's
Okay.
see.
So we saw that you have a daughter.
hmm
So were you previously married or was it just, like a
So
relationship?
absolutely. So I went after going to school in Arkansas, I ended up going to Louisiana, and that's where I met her mom. So it wasn't a relationship, and that was one of the things that okay, if you have a child, you gotta take care of your child, regardless of how that transpires. So yeah, my baby's 11. She'll be 12 on the 10th. So that's in like what 2 days actually, and yeah, that's my baby. It's my heart. She's
Well,
actually
happy
one of the
early
reasons
birthday to
why,
her.
huh?
I was saying happy early birthday to her.
Thank you. She's actually one of the main reasons why I got on the show. I asked her and my brother. I said, "How do you feel if Daddy goes on the show?" She was like, "Okay, are they gonna be mean to you?" I said, "I don't know. Well, hopefully not." But we all found out what happened. So, but yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah. Because I was even about to ask you why you applied for Ready to Love. Like, why did you even get on TV? Did you check the background of the show or anything?
Man, the crazy part is that one of my friends, Simone from the Houston cast, had called me like, "Hey, they coming to Dallas. I think you're the perfect guy, etc." And then they reached out, and initially I was like, "No, I don't want to be on a reality show. I'm thinking about the drama." But they were like, "It's Oprah Winfrey Network. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be classy." And as Africans, we got to think about our family, our family name. So I was like, "Okay, let me give it a try." Talk to my brother and my daughter, and they're like, "Just give it a try," because I'm actually was at the point where it's like, all right, I'm ready to find my wife. And this is probably an opportunity. Maybe God is speaking to me like this. And so that's how it came about. And I just dove right in. So yeah.
Yeah. So
So
Aries
if
is in the
given another,
building.
huh?
I said Aries is in the building. Hi, Aries.
Hey,
Aries, what's up,
Aries.
Aries? With that beautiful
So
smile.
if given another chance, would you apply again?
Ooh. The crazy part is that only the reason why I don't regret it is because of the friendships and the connections I made, kind of like with Aries, Lee Cat, some of the guys. So that's priceless. Initially I was like, man, I'll never ever do this again. I don't know if I would do a dating show, and I've had 2 dating shows reach out since then, and one I absolutely said no, and the other one I'm probably gonna say no. But if
Why?
they can bring something else that's not competitive dating, I'm okay with that. Knowing how production and editing does their thing, I'm open to something maybe outside of dating, when it comes to that.
I understand.
So what
So,
about like a bachelor thing? Would you do like if you would?
oh, The Bachelor is actually girls
You
that
know what?
are
Let's
going
not
for
talk about The
it.
Bachelor.
It is. So wait a second. I guess like that wouldn't be any better. So yeah.
Yeah, hey, you must be a psychic or something, Gigi. You must be a psychic.
Don't tell me it's the
Hey, I froze up
Bachelorette
when she
or the
said that. I was like,
Bachelor.
oh, don't get me in trouble. But yeah, I don't know.
Go for it. I mean, you actually if you go for the Bachelors or the Bachelorette, you have like a broader audience.
Yeah.
and you tap into like better markets. And you may just find somebody in the show or outside the show. You know, the women, they always get into the men's DMs. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I guess that way you're not really competing. It'll be the women competing in the Bachelor. Um, but then I realized with this, you lose a lot of your privacy. Even with Ready to Love, I've lost a lot of privacy, you know. And so if I do something else, then I think that's gonna be even more, you know. I didn't know it was this big of a platform at all, but it really is.
So now let's move into the show and everything, basically.
Hmm.
You were one of the main guys of the show. Like, we just have to be frank. Like, we only had, if we're looking at the main guys, we had about three main guys of the show. So being one of the main guys, I think Gigi has gone out. So when she
Hmm.
comes back in, you had a lot of connections.
Yes. Yes.
Please list them because we they only focused on like two.
I
So
know.
what were your connections?
So my connections, Jessica, of course, was one of my connections. Taquilla was one of my connections starting off. Eunik and I had a really good conversation at the mixer. We actually did, like, cause she was asking about my culture, and I really enjoyed that talking about it. And she said she followed me on Instagram prior to. And of course, my main connections was, of course, Lee, Aries, and Kat. You know, those are my heavy hitters. As you all can see, just based on social media, it is what it is. So those I would say were my five connections, 5.5 connections in the show. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
So so that's
Now
okay.
it was some individuals that did want to kind of connect, but I was like, nah, it's not gonna work out. So, but those
So you
were
were Mr. Hot in Demand.
no, I think
Everybody
I was just
wanted.
one of the guys that had multiple connections.
Oh, please.
Which you
That's
did.
good
You
to
had
know. I
quite a
think we
few.
do.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
had quite a few. So let's talk about your connection with Lee.
Oh, okay. Tell me, let's talk about it.
Like we didn't see much of you guys and started noticing that you guys kind of like, we didn't really see until like the
Mm-hmm.
YouTube exclusives. So was there a
Mm-hmm.
major connection and what drew you to her?
Oh man, Lee is a major connection. And ironically, we Lee, I went to school with Lee's brother and Lee's sister. And so, and I had no idea. Lee actually lived across the street from where I live. Yes, in Duncanville, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And so when we got to talking, that right there opened up the opportunity because I knew her family. And you know how we are in our culture, family is very, very important. So
Mhm.
that was the biggest thing that bonded Lee and myself. Outside of the physical connection, she's a beautiful woman, in my opinion. So that was there, which that's always the easy part. It's the stuff outside of that. And that family bond was the part that made us like unify, like, oh, okay, I like this woman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's great.
Definitely. And she loved to
Wow.
And where
cook,
are you
and I
guys
love to eat.
currently?
Huh?
Currently, what's your relationship status with Lee?
So you just gonna dive right in it.
You
Huh?
come on, like you
You
don't
just
want
go
to like tell
Listen,
me.
she was gonna ease it in, but then like no, we need
you
to
just
know.
went.
Forget it. Just thought.
So this is what I will say. You always have to let the women, as far as when it comes to lead cat Aries or just anything, you let the women be the one to display that. So guys, we don't care. I will be honest, I don't really care. But I
So
gotta
if you are
respect.
talking in circles,
Yes, I
I
have to.
what's
exactly.
your
I see that.
relationship
I
status
see.
with Lee? Like,
I
just
see. Like
tell
So
us.
I gotta let the women do that. I gotta let them do that.
I'm
Because
not
we don't
intervening,
care as guys.
please.
I'm not gonna put nobody business out there. So in my business, when it comes to that,
Okay,
okay.
what do you think your relationship status is with Lee?
what do I think my relationship status is with Lee?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
I
Yeah.
don't feel
So
like that's a status, but
you
okay.
don't think
Yeah.
so? You don't think so?
Wait.
It's
No.
amazing. Yeah.
Are we okay? Here, I'll do like Tommy when he asked Jessica, "Are you guys, Jessica and
Man,
Maurier, are you guys dating?"
Tommy, his
Like,
don't even be Tom. Tommy just be overlooking the.
Oh,
That's my frat brother, but he wasn't acting like a noob on this show. He really wasn't. He was acting like a capital. But
oh my God, the
are you
shade,
dating?
the
Are you
shade.
dating?
it's the
Are you
facts.
going towards the dating scene,
So
or are you friends?
I would say that we have a solid like relationship. We really do. And I'm trying to I gotta respect people because I don't know what and we'll leave that because you're gonna interview with her, you know.
You have three options, Chris. Are you
Right.
dating? Are you going towards the dating scene,
Let's say
or
this.
are you
Let's
friends?
say this. I'm friends with all three of those ladies.
Oh,
Okay, like it. Okay, okay. I see what we're getting. We see what like. Okay, okay.
They're
We
gonna
see
say a
where it's
lot more than
going.
me. I'm gonna tell you that. They're gonna say a whole lot more than me when it comes to that. So yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's now move to Aries.
Every time I leave, he's acting up.
So,
Hey,
what
they run me
exactly drew you to Aries,
to
and
Aries.
what exactly drew you to
Oh,
Lee?
so going into this, Aries and Leiann were the only two women I knew prior till when I saw them. Leiann was the one that got eliminated the first day.
Right.
Aries, her and I, when I first quit the oil and gas industry and came to Dallas, we was in like similar circles. So we did a running group where we kind of hung out. We always thought each other was attractive. We'll flirt here and there, but we really didn't know each other really until after this process, And I would say with Aries, her and I was kind of lazy getting into it because it's like you already see someone you like them, and she wanted to make sure she found somebody she can at least flirt with, and I checked that box. So we didn't pursue on the show because we just had a familiarity with each other. Like we kind of just knew each other, So and then with her, she's a sweetheart, like what you see is what you get out of Aries. She loves to smile, bubbly, great mother, very ambitious. And all three of those women, Lee, Cat, and Aries, you're gonna hear me mention them three a lot in this interview. They're so passionate and ambitious, and that's very attractive, when it comes to that. So yeah, I kind of knew Aries ahead of time, but her and I kind of, didn't really push the envelope during the process. And then her and Phil was like connecting so well too. Who wanted to break that up? I don't think nobody wanted to like touch that, you know. Um, yeah.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's good that you say that because that was actually one of the questions. Is because people were saying that her connection was with Phil, and they really didn't see the connection that you
Yeah.
had with them. So, like, I was gonna say, what was your opinion on that? But
Well,
please.
me and Phil had internet beef over Aries one time on Instagram. So yeah, we had that, and we squashed it, but it was heavy. It was heavy beef, you know. But Phil, me and him cool. That's my guy. And then we joke so much about Aries. Like I'm like, yeah, she likes me better, and I feel I'm funnier than Phil, but he's done comedy, so he might be legally funnier than me. I don't know. Um, so,
I don't
but
get his jokes.
you know,
Don't worry.
so, but yeah, I think, and we had so much fun in that retreat together as well too, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But me and Phil was probably Aries' only connection throughout the process. Of course, her and her was actually really friends, and it's almost like that brother sister vibe. So, he's never going to be on her bottom, and vice versa. And I will say, all the guys liked her. You know what I'm saying? Liked Aries. Really, all the guys liked it, Lee, Aries, and Cat, to be honest. It wasn't a guy there that wouldn't have jumped on the opportunity, so
Yeah, it was quite
yeah.
obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was one of the people that were very skeptical about this relationship with Aries.
Yeah.
So, did you see this relationship going further? Like, we're not talking about now. Whilst you guys
Okay.
were filming, did you think that relationship was going somewhere? Because I just felt like she was moving you to the corner, like she was like, okay, this is just like a reserve,
So
something like
a
that.
lot of people,
Like I
I've
told
heard
you, it
that
was
so
that
much.
leg pat for me, honey. That
Yes. Me and Aries joke about that quite frequently. I think when she was with you guys, she reiterated, and I saw when you said leg pad, I had to type like the leg pad. We started laughing because it was a running joke. And her and I talked so much prior to that date. When I found out it was her coming to my house, I was really excited, you know. And one of the things I actually was gonna have a saxophonist come in too, but he couldn't. I couldn't change his flight.
Habibi,
not
But
yeah.
Habibi, not Habibi.
Habibi. But hey, but Habibi good though. That boy good. Like he can play
Yeah,
the
see, that's
saxophone.
all he needs to do is play that saxophone. Don't say nothing, just play.
Yeah, he good. But yeah, that was the thing. Hired that chef. That chef is one of the top ones in Dallas. Shout out to Chef Carl. And I had another saxophonist, but we couldn't get his flight changed in time to make it. He was doing a wedding or something. And so I was really excited about that. With those three girls, like I would move the mountains for them just for who they are, you know,
Sounds
and that's
like
where people go ahead. What you say?
But you can't say, okay,
sounds like
go
a
ahead.
poly.
Is that look at you? You better cut that out. That's what.
The sister wives, listen, the
Now
schedule's already been made. We know.
they started the sister wild stuff, and it's so funny. It tickles me, but that's kind of the running joke that we all four have, and but they all three do kind of run me though when it comes to that. When it, you know, so I let them get away with murder, you know, but it's all good. They take care
I
of
know if
me.
I
So
asked you your relationship status, you would still like.
yes. I'm gonna give
Yeah,
you
I
the
was gonna say,
same.
there's no point in even asking what's the relationship status with Aries, like, because we're not gonna get an answer. Are
Nah.
you guys amazing as well? Is the status
Uh-huh.
amazing?
Absolutely.
It's okay, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, she getting
That's
ready
the
to catch a flight
status.
right now. She getting ready to catch a flight right now, so she probably gonna be on long with it.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. So
No.
what
So
you
you
gonna
know
say?
all the details, but you guys are friends. All right,
Mm-hmm.
we'll take it.
Yeah,
right?
but it's so funny when people say the auntie vibe, like it's actually an attraction there in real life, you know. So and you that's the thing when people are like, oh, auntie vibe, but that's how, like, even when like with Lee and I, like, I'm so happy that Lee showed that exclusive when I met her best friend, which I knew her best friend from college, you know. So in college her best friend knew the type of person I was in college, so that's why she got so excited, you know, with that, because I never was just a player, you know. I did get a lot of attention, but I was never really just a player like that. I wasn't dogging women. I wasn't having multiple whatever. So that was pretty cool to see her
So
and
you
for her
didn't
to
show them
vouch.
the Ninja boy in you?
I wasn't. I
Oh
got it
my
in me.
God,
I
like
got it in me,
you
but I
really
wasn't doing it because
come
I found.
on,
Let
like
me tell you.
you're
Let me
supposed to
tell
go there
you.
and break hearts.
I'm gonna tell you. I didn't find out I was cute until college. I started off late. I was, and then once they like, oh, you look good. I'm like, who, me? And then I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So so I found out late, and then I did a lot in a short period of time, and then now I'm all good. So you know, that's what it is. I'm a
I mean,
late bloomer.
everyone's glow up comes differently in life, so I can
Yeah,
understand that, and I've heard it before. You know, it's like, and you know,
yeah,
I know people whose glow up is just it's dim, and I just don't
yeah.
know
You
when
know,
if they need to change the
mhm.
light bulb or not. But it's just
It's just
we're
boom.
not,
I'm
we're
I'm
not
gonna tell
quite sure.
you. I was the last virgin in my crew. I ain't lose my virginity till college. You know, and I made up for it in those 4 years. You know, so now it's like I'm good. I'm not.
But you know,
Yeah.
girls like ugly guys.
I
The
mean,
rationale is that he's not
uh,
going to cheat on her.
yeah,
And guys
it's
like
not.
ugly girls, like it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's really not an attraction of appearance. Like it
Yes,
really is like who you
yes,
are as a person. Like what can you
bingo,
offer? What can you bring to the table? What? How can we benefit each other instead of taking
man.
away? Because I can't pour into your cup if I'm not being replenished.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I pour
Mm-hmm.
all of me out, what do I have to give? And you're not trying to
Absolutely,
pour back in, so you know what I'm saying. It's a lost cause. So a lot of times, yeah, of
absolutely.
course, looks aren't important. It's
Yeah,
really the
absolutely.
person.
And you know what, Gigi? I'm glad.
Uche, what's that? What's that look? See? I'm trying to be good. Okay.
Hey, and Gigi,
Never
I'm
be
glad
nice.
I'm glad you said what you said because one of my initial connections was so hung up in the aesthetics of us that that was the motivating, the driving factor. But didn't realize that I'm more of a substance person, you know. And once I identify that, okay, this is all you want, it's a huge turnoff. Like if we can't have stimulating, positive conversations, or if you treat people bad, then nah, I'm good. I can't do it, you know.
All right.
But
Can you
yeah.
give us like who was that?
Oh, that was Jessica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to Jessica now.
So, well, speaking of Jessica, let's go ahead and move on to that connection. Like, wow.
What you got?
How did that even come about? Like, how did y'all even become? Because we seen, like, honestly, she was kind of like your main connection in the beginning.
Yeah, initially, when what got it for me when she walked up in that dress. That dress, I really liked that dress on her. And it was style because I noticed style and I noticed, and she wore it. So I was like, oh, okay, I like that. She's pretty, you know. And that was, and I didn't get an opportunity really to talk to a lot of people, because we just kept talking, and she kind of made it known that she really liked me or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I like you too. Let's try to see what's what, you know. And then, you know, as it progressed, I think the layers started getting pulled back on both of us and realizing that, okay, this is not what it is. Yeah. Yeah, this is not what it is. So,
So
well, yeah.
and at what point did you guys realize? Like what exactly was the breaking point?
I realized it at the lunch when she came to my office, to my construction site.
That was like episode
Early.
4, 5.
It was early, right? Yeah, that's when it was signs prior till, like whenever we went out on dinners and things like that, and like Gigi, like we was talking about, as far as when I see someone treating other people some type of way, it makes me realize, okay, if you're upset at me, you're gonna treat me just like them, you know. And so I was like, I don't feel too good about that, and so it was on his way out, but at my office at the construction site, that's when it was like, oh, I'm good on that. You know, we had a moment, and when I addressed it, and then she kind of got, you know, like turned on a little bit, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to my woman like that. I don't want to have to be that stern, and then you like that. You know, it was even a time the producers was like, hey, well, he has his opinion, you know, and after that we had a conversation, and I'm like, hey, we still can be cool, cordial, whatever. That's just that. But that was a turning point, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that she exhibited some actions when you guys went out. Like what exactly were those actions?
So I would say the rudeness to like the waiting staff and the production. You know, if if the food wasn't what she wanted, you know, it's a certain way you can communicate that. Even with the makeup artist, you know, and all that, getting ready for filming, me seeing a lot of that stuff behind the scenes, that's a turn off. Or if it's okay, well, let's wait and talk about that on camera. I said, no, let's continue. The thing is, there are people that just want to do stuff when the camera's rolling. No, you need to continue the flow even when it's not rolling. You know, because we're genuinely getting to know each other. You know, it's not like, oh, when the camera's on, okay, let's start talking. No, let's talk throughout the whole process, on and off. You know, so we did talk on the phone. All of us pretty much was exchanging numbers or whatnot. And even with Janelle, not to really just throw her in there, but I have to. You know, her and I had a conversation where she wanted us to connect, and I'm like, no, I'm talking to your friend. So, because I'm not going to talk to friends in real life. So that was a turning point between her and I. You know, that instance, and then another instance at the brunch when we was had our first really good conversation, and that conversation later on turned into a domino effect between her and I. You know, yeah. So I'm giving you all the facts and all the behind the scenes.
Okay. So, okay, so question then. So during the improv
Mhm.
class that you guys did, you kind
Yeah.
of felt or said that she was coming in hot. What made you say that or feel that way?
Well, it wasn't the actual improv. She was coming in hot before we started the improv. It's just because she always had this look of disgust. you know, or something's bothering her. I'm like, dang. But the actual improv, when we was having that debate, that was what the improv was. I'm not saying she was intentionally, she had to play the upset wife. So they played that like that's her having one of those combative moments. No, she's had some, but that wasn't the one of the moments. That was something that we, yeah, that we were doing. What you laugh? I mean, just to give her credits, that moment was part of the date. You know, she had other ones that could make up for that. So that wasn't, yeah.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
we'll take notes. So when you met Jessica's friend, that what am I saying friend? There was when when Jessica met your friend, and then she came in, and you were like the energy changed. I really did
Oh,
not get it because I was like, what energy? She was just being bubbly. So I
ex-
did not just understand why you
yeah.
made that particular statement.
So Aries said it best. It was just us in that restaurant, and it was very quiet, and so you could hear a pin drop. 'Cause we were just having a real good intimate conversation, and when she came in, it was the tone was a lot louder, you know, and so that's where it was, and I think the vibe my ex got from Lee, excuse me, from Lee and Aries was totally different because we had a date with Lee at my house well, we played basketball. I don't know if I won or her and Lee lost. Nah, actually, I think Lee won. To be honest, though.
That's the same thing.
Nah, I think Lee won that basketball game, I believe. So that vibe, like, she absolutely loved those two ladies. Like, Chris, those are the two that you get my stamp of approval. And they really didn't show how she really came in. Like, it wasn't genuine like the way she came in. So I think that's kind of because Aries felt it, and she ain't got no bone in the fight, you know. And so that it really was like a shift of energy. It really was, and I think they kind of bumped heads a little bit too.
But why do you feel like it wasn't genuine? Was she like very loud? Did she
the
try
the
to like
tone the tone
disrupt the
was
music?
louder. It was louder because it was a quiet room. Um, and then people body language, you know, your body language speak volume too before you even say anything. You get into okay, yeah. So that that's the vibe of the energy, and you can sense it. You know what I'm saying? You can sense if someone's feeling you, if they're not feeling you, if they really want to be there, if they do want to be there. You know, imposing their self, like you could feel it. It's non-verbals. You know. Mhm.
Okay. But
So
she sounded so bubbly, so I'm actually lost.
yeah,
So bubbly.
it is okay. So it seemed as though she came in like cheerful and she was happy to be there, and like she was expecting, I guess, to have for everyone else to be on her level or whatever.
I
Like,
guess so. That portion, I really don't know. I just know the tone was a little bit louder. That's pretty much, the vibe, the energy was just so it just changed because it's like you, her and Aries was just talking like they just friends catching up, being nice, and then bam, the decibels went higher, which I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing. I just say the energy was just louder, and then the vibe changed.
Did you
So
ever have like a discussion with her about this particular thing
about with my ex or with Jessica
with Jessica
about her and talking to my ex.
being loud?
No, because I really stopped calling her. I stopped calling her after the lunch. Like I wasn't. I think one of the lounges, like she was like, I don't really communicate. And then Aries and Lee was like, I talk to him every day. You know, because I already had the little conversation. Hey, we're just kind of gonna be cool type stuff. So now I'm gonna shift my energy towards the women that I'm actually pursuing. In real life. So it was no need for me to really talk to her. And I think at that moment, that's when I started communicating to the producers, hey, I would love to focus on my two connections. But I don't think Kat was there yet by then. But I was like, hey, this is where my direction is. So I don't really want to waste you guys' time and money because once my mind's kind of made up on where I want to go, that's just where I want to go, and my focus was Lee and Aries, you know. Mm-hmm.
So, in what
Wow.
ways did you want Jessica to soften up? Because that was kind of like portrayed as a main reason why you guys broke apart.
Yeah,
So,
that
how could
really
she have
was.
softened up?
I would say Jessica would look for moments. Well, I'm not gonna say she looked. I perceived that it was always some type of aggression, in conversations of things of dislike. So for me, I'm more optimistic than I am another way. My glass is half full versus half empty. And I don't know if that's the nature of her type of business. I don't know if coffee really upsets people when they're selling it, but I don't know. And so it's like one of those things like, hey, let's talk in this manner. Let's be a little bit more gentle. I wanna pamper my woman, what I'm saying? I wanna nurture. I want something like that where it's softer versus the aggression. Like I don't you know how in our language we have Igbo, you know how like Germans they have that you know. I want to speak French. I don't want to speak German. I want something a little softer. you know? I'm not trying to
Great analogy. Great, because
But
German is.
I
Oh,
would say that she was assertive instead of aggressive. Please, so that we don't start adding
Oh
new
yeah, then that's a new
about
word.
it.
I know. Yeah, I know. Cause they are pretty much changing what the definition of combative is now, I believe. So, cause this
Because
show. Hmm,
Chris, I have to ask you a question.
okay.
listen, yeah.
Is
When
when
it
you
let's
were talking to Kat and no, sorry, Aries and what's the
And Lee.
name? Lee every day.
Mm-hmm.
But Jessica kept complaining numerous times that you're bad at communication. This was
Mm-hmm.
even before the whole ending of your relationship. Why did you do that? Because I felt like that was like one of our main problems with you, and it just came across like you
Yeah.
didn't even bother to do anything.
And Uche, another thing, once I start checking out, I checked out. At this point, because it's like you dating multiple people, and if this person already like rubbing you some type of way, let's not even waste time because now I have two or three other beautiful souls that I'm trying to, explore at that point. So and then my lifestyle with my work, every time extra time I have, I want to have it with someone that I'm gonna have an enjoyable conversation. Because it got to the point where, have you ever had that friend that call you and it's always a problem, and then you see them calling like, golly, you know, that's how I was feeling. So, and then if like Lee Aries a cat, if I see them calling, I'm instantly smiling like, okay, we're about to have a good conversation. I'm anticipating it. So it started getting like that. So it's like protecting your energy, that we all yearn for now. Is that if I don't have to, I'm not. So therefore it was natural to pick up the phone and call Lee, to text Aries, to FaceTime with Kat or something like that, because those endorphins felt better. Those it felt good talking to those ladies because and working out things. I can versus like, oh, it's gonna be a problem. This person, got another flat tire. I'm like,
But what if she was just like relying on you because she felt like very comfortable or like she felt safe in complaining to you? Because women, we just don't
mm-hmm.
pick up the phone and start complaining to certain people. We complain to people that we feel are our problem solvers.
hold
Gigi.
on. No, no. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, no. 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 Mm-mm.
Oh my
Gigi
No.
goodness.
never supports a point of
No,
view.
I support it, but listen, we cannot put no. There are people. Let's be clear. There
Yes,
definitely
thank
are
you.
people who
Um,
purposely card you or only befriend you
Mm-hmm.
to unload on either they want something from you
Mm-hmm.
or they have to unload their problems. Like that is your spot in their life is just
Yeah,
to be the person that they vent to. They don't want shit else. They don't want to
that
hang out.
bingo.
They don't want to try to solve the
They don't
problem.
want it
They don't want to
exactly.
try to take your advice because they really don't want to hear
Mm-hmm.
it. They just want to tell you what they want, hang up the phone, and go
And that's
on.
it. Yeah.
Like, so,
I do
no,
love,
I
Gigi,
still love you though.
Uche, have you seen Winnie the Pooh?
yeah.
Do you remember ER? Oh man, I can't be talking to ER every day because I need some honey. I can't be just.
But did you ever complain to her that you complain a lot?
Did I ever complain to her that what?
That she complains a lot.
I've said, hey, let's figure out the solution or resolution, or like what else can we do? Because in business it's high stress, and so when you're running your own business, I already know it's gonna be a lot of things. So I'm like, okay, well, let's figure out what can you do to help with supply chain and this and that. Let's find a resolution. But I think some people just don't want to find a resolution, and that was the energy I was getting numerous of times. So it's like I'm not gonna be there for that anymore.
But you still
So
did not complain to her that she was complaining too much. I mean,
hold on,
it's
but
your
this is my
fault in
question.
that.
Was all this going on around the time when she said that you called her and you were basically complaining and not being accountable for your issues or the problems that you have, not really stating what problems you had, and that was the time where she had to have basically someone listening on the conversation to
Oh,
prove
no, no, no.
what was being said between you and her?
That was way before that. She did that after her friend date. I think she had called me, and then she called me on speakerphone. I believe that's what she said later, and had one of the producers come listen in. And at that moment, it was even some antagonizing statements like, "Why are you so upset? Why do you seem irritated? Why do you?" Now it made me think back when she was saying that you was like poking at me while someone is listening. You see what I'm saying? It's just like the same way when the other dude that was sending text messages and screenshots, you're doing things to set up something. Like, you see what I'm saying? Now it's all making sense when I'm listening to these people do interviews, and I watch the show. I'm remembering those timestamps when all of that was transpiring. And then after that, I think Janelle had called me right then, like, "Hey, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't even talk to you. Why are you even calling me like this?" And it's more or less, it's so strategic. And it's like, have you heard like those murder mysteries? And you like, man, now all the clues are just showing like,
Oh my.
wow, it was really Johnny that killed Lacey the whole time. you know so that's what this really love feel like, is like a murder mystery. And now everyone is seeing what happened. you know that's Andrew. Okay.
So the Aries safe travel, she's already boarding our flights right
Yeah.
now.
Safe
Oh,
travels,
bye,
Aries.
Aries. See you
Yes. So
later.
someone has a comment someone dropped a comment in the comment section that I want you to actually like respond to. The
Okay.
person said, True Tree said, crazy part is even though Jessica rubbed us the wrong way, I feel like if Janelle wasn't there, she would be more open and ready to express herself. She
Mm.
sitting next to Janelle made her look bad.
Oh, you know what? I can agree with that, but the thing is though, whoever you associate yourself with, you guys have some similarities. All of our friends, we have some type of traits that connects us. I mean, Jessica is very intelligent. Janelle is very intelligent. Jessica is more strategic than Janelle. Janelle is gonna pop off quicker than Jessica, but they both have the same level, can show off the same level of disrespect to someone, the same picking or whatever. You know, so I think it would have gave Jessica a better opportunity, you know, versus if with Janelle being there. But friends are friends for a reason, and then when you're best friends, that says a lot, and that's
Very
just what I
nice.
think. Hmm.
But
That's
are they
true.
really best friends though?
Well, going into
Like,
it, that's what
are
I
they?
heard, and they communicated that they were friends and business partners. So I don't know
Yeah,
how
but from the
close.
lives that's been done on Janelle's part, she surely did not mention Jessica as one of the people that she calls a friend.
Well, you got to think about it like this. Of course, if you feel your friend isn't defending you, quote unquote, and this is my theory, because this is what she said. Someone said she has friends that defend her. Jessica has a business. The more you attach yourself to Janelle, that's gonna make you look even worse. You see what I'm saying? So I can understand why she wasn't going to bat for Janelle, because Janelle was like a renegade out there on the internet. You see what I'm saying? So I understand that, and they might be still friends. They might not be friends. I don't know, but I can see why they might have fallen out. But during the recording, they were friends and business partners.
Okay.
Hmm. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
that's what
know.
was said on the show. I do remember, them saying that they were best friends. And even in the very beginning, when Janelle first went live before episode 4 or whatever,
Mhm.
she said that her and Jessica were best friends and that Jessica was
Exactly.
actually the one who got her on the show.
Exactly. So I don't know if I don't know. I'm pretty sure they both sat down when they wrote up their alliance contract. They both was there, and then made everybody else sign it. So
I'm glad you said that. We'll speak on that later. But if you if you've been listening, then I am strong on my opinion that there's been an alliance. Like
yeah,
I stand
yeah,
on it. Like I stand on
yeah,
it. You can't tell me any differently.
yeah. I agree, and I think I threw a monkey wrench. One of the ladies told me like, man, when you said you didn't want to talk to her, you messed up whatever that she. They was getting ready to hand you the contract, the DocuSign. I'm like, so, I was like, no,
They
get
send
thee
signed you
behind.
to death row.
I'm telling you, get thee behind me. Yeah, I can't do it. I'm good. I
So
love
now
my soul.
let's go to this whole combative situation because I feel like the whole situation just went from a 0 to 1 million
Yeah,
so
I
quickly,
agree.
like it was too fast.
I
So I'm going
agree.
to start from the men's lounge because I feel like that's where everything got derailed.
Mm-hmm.
So you said you and Jessica had a combative situation, which
Mm-hmm.
made you feel like you can no longer pursue that situation, the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
What combative situation happened?
So, and I'm glad you said that because the whole thing, like, oh, Chris didn't own up to it, Chris lied, this and that, whatever the case may be. So, I described the situations initially. I said combative situations, combative moments. So, when she asked me, when she lined us all out for execution style to ask us who said it, at that moment, I just said the situations I had with her combative. The only two times I actually verbally called her combative was at the table when we had that blow up, and also, right before the reunion, I went back to the studio to do a recording, a pickup. And at that moment, I had on a blue suit. Yeah, I had a blue suit. And I said, yeah, she is combative. The editors took that moment and played it like it was real time, like I said it. And I was like, wow. And I think, and Aries pointed out too, like, Chris, that's not even the suit you was wearing. You wore that long time. I was like, yeah, I know. So therefore, the viewers, they was like, oh, well, he said in his confessions. He's been saying it. It does make me look like I'm lying. And that's why the girls were so adamant, was like, because they know the real timeline. So why would Aries, Lee, and Kat defend me so aggressively if they if they thought I was lying, because they knew the real. Um, so as far as the different moments, of course, it was a couple on the phone. Even the time when she was had me on speakerphone, that moment was as well. Also when of course the retreat, there were some moments. Also at some of the dinners we went to, when it was talking with the waitresses, I'm like, hey, well, it's okay. They're gonna get it right. No, they should know. They got my list. They know what I can eat. Blah 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 blah. And I'm like, it's okay. Well, we don't have to eat this, or maybe we'll get something else later. So those are all the moments that wasn't on camera. So we had a lot of those moments, and there were guys in the lounge that even agreed with me. It's just that everything that was getting communicated to Jessica by Maurier was pertaining to me because he was also her connection. So it's like, okay, let me eliminate him and it'll make me look a lot better. You see what I'm saying? So that was the thing too, because none of the girls, Lee, Cat, Aries, Taquilla, all of them, they wasn't telling me anything from the lounge, and nor did I ask. But Maurier was taking a lot of the gentleman rounds, which is supposed to be a secure, safe place, and bombarding it over there to let them know what's going on. So as far as when they say Tommy say this is a safe zone, that's not true. This is not it's not HR in there. Whatever you say there anywhere is gonna get out. You know, and it were multiple guys. That's one of the reasons. If y'all listen when Q said it was a collective decision when and then one word, I think it was when it was at the retreat, and Q said, man, I can't believe it was a collective decision. Maurier like, yeah, I messed up, I shouldn't choose that word. And mind you, Maurier knew that was a trigger for Jessica. I did not know. You see what I'm saying? And so, because that's something that's in the past, and I also challenge people, if someone is saying the same thing over and over, there's a little bit of truth to it, or at least own it and then adjust it. Why are you calling me this? Why are you saying, I know why people might say I'm emotional, because I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm a passionate person, and sometimes my passion may have people perceive me as being highly emotional. So maybe that's just what it is. That I might have two definitions, and I'm okay with that. In our culture, combative is not a bad word. And then you also, let's dig a little bit deeper. These same women that's an uproar about combative, you're calling other women B's and H's and raggedy and ugly and all these things that are far greater than combative. You see what I'm saying? But society wants to find this one word to demonize somebody or find some type of dirt. And for me, I don't have any skeletons in my closet. So when someone make any accusations, show me those accusations. Put it out there so we all can see and talk about it. But it's like throwing the rock and hiding your hands. And I know I got a little redundant, but I wanted to kind of give you guys full circle of that combative statement in that situation.
Yeah. Because we're going to ask you that whole Moray, why he went to say that
Yeah. Why exactly? Why do you feel he even went to Jessica to
was
tell
he kind of
her?
moping
Now,
around?
Mm-hmm.
right.
Well,
We have our opinions, of course, but
yeah.
what is your opinion on that? Like, why would he even do something like that, do you
One of the
feel?
ladies on YouTube called it best. She called it Messy Maurier, Eminem. And I think that was a big part of it because every woman that got eliminated, he had a hand to play in it. When it boils down to that. And then I feel when someone said he probably saw me as a threat. And so it's like, okay, let me eliminate my threat. But what he didn't realize that I've already passed on Jessica. Like you didn't have to do all of that, because I would have been cool. I would have loved to still be Jessica's friend. I that would have been a wish of mine because I think there's something good in Jessica. I'm like her and Janelle are friends, but they're totally different. I don't seek any friendship with Janelle because that person there, I don't even know. Just based on how I see them ridicule other women than people that can't defend themselves. Really, both of them. So I don't know why Maurier did that. I just feel it was more of a step for him. Maybe he felt that would make him feel better or be in a closer space with her, and that's unfortunate. You see what I'm saying? Because you tearing down someone else or trying to plant seeds, negative seeds, doesn't make you look better. You know, and I think when he said that, he said it was a something at a time. It was some different. What word did he say? It was a I can't think of the word. Like a slip. It's a slip up when he said it. But a fortally or something like that. I can't remember what he said. Statement. But the true definition of that statement, I went and read it, is that when you feel something is true, but you didn't want to say it, and you accidentally say it. So that internalized that you actually feel she's combative, And he said, "Oh, she can be difficult." So it's a lot of these guys are. I mean, it's like you're trying to save face in a sense, And it's unfortunate because I even had a conversation with him as well, and he wanted to be cool, but then you go and then you do that. So it's like you tell me one thing, you do something else. At this point, it don't even matter for us to talk, because you're continuously, planting these messy seeds everywhere and spreading them. So we ain't got nothing to talk about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I said, my part on that, I just feel like that was all a part of the alliance. Like he had to pledge his allegiance. He had to make sure to let it be known. I mean, I agree with you. He felt like you were a threat in a way. So even though you didn't want Jessica, you still were a threat to his position because I don't feel like he had a connection with any of the other women. So he had to at least eliminate a man who had more connections than him and who actually had a possibility of taking away Jessica's position. Because if you would have stayed, I do feel like Lee would have stayed because she had more of a connection with you than Quentin, I believe. And absolutely. I just feel like it was a threat all the way around, and the alliance would not allow for that to happen. So that's why I feel like that was another reason why they was like, hey, we have to get rid of you some way. Because he could have definitely used any other word or not even use the word period.
Not even use it at all. Not even use it at all. And that's sad because there's no prize that you win. You're not winning, any money. I mean, most of us lost a lot of money going on this show, and it might be like I say, some probably did make some money. Everybody's situation is different, and maybe they would, some wanted, a couple more drinks, couple more food. I don't know, but other than that, it's you're here for a reason. And it's like, I already have the numbers I need, the phone, so I can make my phone calls. And it wasn't no sense of Lee being there because she's not going to be second fiddle to Janelle. That's not, that don't even make sense, with that. They're on totally different levels. Lee and Janelle's on totally different levels, so I mean, yeah, it didn't make sense for her to be there at all.
Because I feel like this was not the first time that he did it. Remember the time you met Jessica's family friends? I keep calling family friends or friends. I just
Yeah.
prefer everybody as family. I don't like to say family. When you met Jessica's family and they asked you, oh, what kind, they was like, what problem do you have with Jessica? They're like, oh, I want her to be a little bit soft. And the next thing we heard Maurier say was, oh, don't worry, I like my woman
I like
strong.
my
I
woman
like her up there.
combative.
I
I
was
like
like,
my
damn.
woman
I
combative.
was like, nobody asked you. Why are you always jumping? It was
Right.
always weird. Like it was always having something to counter
Yeah.
whatever you
He's
say.
like,
It
Always,
was
if
always.
I get
ridiculous.
home and my woman not throwing glass at the wall, I don't want her. Like, I need some
Right.
fights.
Just like you at the improv, he clutched his pearls like he liked it too. Like he said, like the producers was like, "Hey, he has his own opinion." I feel like with Maurier, he's like, "No, she has my opinion." Like,
Yeah, it's
wait,
my
what?
opinion.
Like,
If my woman not punching me, she don't love me. I need a black guy for black love. Yeah, he really into it. I'm just saying. Yeah, that was a date I did not want to be on to meet her friends. But yeah,
oh my god, not a black eye for
No,
black love. I'm sick.
because I'm pro
very like
black.
a lot of things now. Because now it's like you've explained a lot that my
Hmm.
next question doesn't even make sense anymore. Because I was going to ask you about why not taking credits, but now that I found out that the confessionals were shot after the
Oh
scene,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, that
Yeah,
doesn't make sense to
and
ask
then
that question.
exactly, and and one of the things that was unfortunate about Tommy is when he was like, "How did you?" He had asked Lee, which they didn't air. He like, Lee, how do you know? I mean, how do you feel now knowing that Chris lied? And Lee was like, no, he didn't. And I said, well, Tommy, don't try to paint that narrative. Like, go rewind that and show what happened. That was recorded, blah blah blah,
But
but they
Tommy,
didn't air it.
was Tommy part of production? It's just like the host.
I don't know. I hope Tommy didn't get
I
a
don't I
lines
don't think
nor
he's part.
list
Like the
notarized or something.
executive producers, they are like three executive producers. I don't think Tom is actually involved
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't think he's involved. I
productions
think
or
he
anything.
just says what he has to say, probably. I don't know.
So let's just say
Hmm.
you still said you guys had like a combative situation. Why didn't you at that moment clarify that, oh, I did not call you combative. I said we had a combative like situation. Why didn't you like come out and say it that day?
Fantastic question. So two reasons. When I was going on the retreat, I talked to my ladies or whatever. My sister wives, I talked to them. I said we're gonna have so much fun on this trip, right? I'm talking about I've run so many games. I've run the archery, the ping pong, cornhole. My mission was to enjoy the people I care about, and I made the point that I was not gonna talk to Janelle or Jessica at all. So that was my whole thing about it. So when she came out and was like, who was talking about who was combative and whatnot, I'm like, man, I'm not getting in it because they came in with their armor on, like sword and shields and everything, ready to have a war, And I'm like, nah, you're not
They
gonna
was
show up
ready for
here.
combat, huh?
Oh my god. So what I look like sitting there arguing with two women, a man. What am I? You saw Maurier get up and run off. You see what I'm saying? Because in that moment, I'm gonna be like, Maurier, tell him what you said. Um, and so that was that, and I'm like, no, I'm not setting myself up for that. I've been enjoying myself, kikiing with Phil, Aries, Cat, Lee, Sierra. Having a really good jolly time with them. So I'm not gonna change my mood to appease these people that's looking for blood. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like they lined us up on a shooting range and they about to pluck us off, you know. And even at the elimination, like, oh, I know who said it. And then and on with they mess itself when they said it, they gonna show me like I'm going. They were good at that. Whenever they wanted to I guess plant a seed, they would show the individual they wanted to correspond to. And another thing too, if you pay attention to the music, because I watch a lot of movies, a lot of things, and they'll play like villain music when they want to villainize somebody, and then they'll play sentimental music when they want you to have a soft feeling, like when Maurier's talking about something. Oh, I love fried chicken and I cook it, and they'll play some real nice and chicken loving music. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, I'm like, come on. Like, you guys are savages out here in this editing world. You know, like some of the stuff is just so comical. Yeah.
So she claimed that she already knew. Okay, who said the whole combative thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think triggered that? And also, how many times have you actually said that to her face?
I said it to her face one time when on the blow up and maybe at the reunion. So the times I said it, it was to her face. And then I said it at that pickup before the reunion. That's when I said it. Any other time, I just described the situations. You know, and at me describing it, I didn't think that was just a harsh, bad word, you know. That was that. I never called her out of her name. Even when I dropped the F-bomb, you know, it really was just her and everything about her. That's how I felt, you know, but at the moment, but yeah, that was just that time, just those two times, or yeah, two times, or maybe three. I might have said it at the reunion, I'm not sure, but at that point, I've already said it to her in the face, so it doesn't matter, you know.
Why do you think that word triggers her so bad? Like,
I think she's heard it a lot. You know, I think it's one of those things when people she probably heard it more than people call, let me stop. But I think she just heard it a lot. You know, it's just something that she wants to change, but then you have to accept it and then change it. How can I change it? You know, what can I do to not come off this way? You know, and I feel as friends, we need to hold our friends accountable for it. You know, like even at the date when they asked me, you know, do I see any wifey qualities in her? You know, and I had a long pause. You know, I just
That she was very funny. That
listen, that was, I think
oh
that was
she
the highlight
naked.
of the panel.
She naked half of them. So, and,
like
and the thing
we
is,
didn't
I
have
didn't
what?
want to really embarrass her in front of her friends, and I didn't want to lie either. You know, and I just said, and I just couldn't think of it for me. So I said, okay, let me talk about the qualities I want in my wife. You know, or let me compliment her. She's fine. She's sexy. She dressed nice. She got a nice dress. You know, but for wifey, nah, not for me. But like again, Maurier, he love it. So I'm not with that. I want peace. I don't want no punches, no kicks to the groin when I get home. I don't want none of that. I
Was
just
she
want to.
ever physical? Because
No, no,
honestly,
no.
when
She's not
she
physical. That's just me just being extra. Yeah. Nah.
like we have to be clear just in case because I don't want anybody to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
maybe
Nah. She's
misplace
not. She's
any
not physical. I
Right.
mean,
They'll
she.
be like, oh my God, Chris said she was so
I know.
combative and she was physical. Like, no,
Okay,
she did
internet.
not say
She
that.
has never been physical towards me at all. Now she did lie and say I flipped over the table, which was not true, or whatever. And so they made her take that down, or whatever. So that was good. Yeah, but yeah,
Okay,
she's
so
never.
production made her take that down because
Yeah, someone
yeah,
someone
it
made
was
her take it down.
happening. Okay.
Yeah, someone made her take it down. That's what I heard because I didn't even know she said that until someone. I was like, oh okay, you know, and that's why she never brought it back up because that was just a hard lie, you know, on that part. Because I would never, you know, I was raised by women. Like I believe rapists and abusers are the worst kind of people, you know, and so I would never I've never put my hand on a woman before. That's just something I just can't do. You know, I'm gonna protect a woman aggressively. Now, if it's a man, you know how African men are, you know how we are. So we're gonna protect our woman, and for a man, there's no gray area on that part. You know, so yeah, I would just wouldn't. Y'all too delicate. Like it's just why would you want to do that? You know, hurt a woman in any manner like that. So yeah.
I think
Hmm.
I
And
get
that
your
was
point,
it.
but I'll ask this question before I go. So why, like in the panel, I actually made a statement. I asked, after this whole situation, knowing that it was going to become something bigger than it needed to be, why
Mm-hmm.
didn't you like call or meet her before the whole eviction date? Because
You
I'm
saying
sure
that
you're
the
expected to
elimination
be
date?
evicted. Yes, before the elimination date, why didn't you call her to just explain that I was not being derogatory? Because what if some people
Mm-hmm.
feel like combative may be such a strong word, and they've called black women all sort of words that these days you can't even use aggressive, we must say assertive. So what if she
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was a negative word? Why didn't you just take a step to like call her or something to explain like the whole, give her the full view of what happened?
I Jessica was in a state where it doesn't matter what I say. You are already in the mission, and I didn't know how how much this word got inflated until I started watching it with you guys. At that time, I didn't know the magnitude of it. Even watching the lounge when she, one of the girls was telling me like she came in black. It's like it's a funeral today. We about to bury somebody. I respect the dead. Like it was a lot of comments she made. Like so, she was already on 10. So it doesn't matter what I would have said. She had her mind made up, and she smelled blood. So yeah, it was no coming back from that. And one of the things I told production, hey, if it's not these three, I don't wanna do this anymore because now you guys aren't respecting me, and respect is a huge thing, when I don't want to be in someone's presence and you allow that to be set up that way, and yes, I probably could have walked out, but we're under contract, so I got to see it through. And that's why I didn't say anything to her because she was already on 10, when it comes to that. Mm-hmm.
So in the live that she had did, she said that during the scene where you got eliminated, that it got really heated, and of course, you
Mm-hmm.
said you flipped over the tables and chairs, and you had to be escorted out by
Mm-hmm.
production, and that the scene had to be reshot.
All
Can
that
you
is
tell us
false.
about that?
So all of that is false. Didn't flip over the table, didn't get escorted. I just walked out and they walked out behind me. Even the owner of the restaurant came out and she was emotional. She hugged me and she's like, everything you said, you're a good man. This woman, because she had some situations before I even got there where she was kind of snobbish to them, and heck, that the owner was such a sweet lady, and so all of that stuff happened before she even told me I wasn't ready to love. And they just pieced it backwards, And I'm like, hey, can you please just tell me what Tommy says so we can get on and keep moving? Whether I'm eliminated or not, I don't care. Let's just end this situation. I do not want to be here. And that I said multiple times. Even in that, she even asked, why didn't we connect? Why didn't we work out? And I said, hey, you're not my person, etc., and all of that. So why are you even still looking for reasons why we didn't work out? And we're here now. That didn't make sense to me at that point. So yeah, I didn't flip over the table. Didn't get escorted out. I just walked out. And they followed me out, type deal, and that was that. Mm-hmm.
So you've answered like multiple questions that I had. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be like jumping to get where I want to.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you two questions in one. In a reunion,
Mm-hmm.
when they ask you this whole combative thing, I know you're tired of hearing this word combative
I
thing.
know.
It just felt like you were trying to rope the other guys in, sort of like a buffer towards you. And do
Mm-hmm.
you think you yourself,
Mm-hmm.
do you think you're combative?
I think I think. Oh, that's a good question. Now I got to do some self evaluation. I think with women I'm not. With men I can be. Yes, with women, I'm not combative. With men, I gotta see what is you talking about, like what you trying to do, And I even reached out to some of the guys that, and like, hey, I got an issue, like what's going on, And those two guys was like, all the guys like, no, everyone's cool, because all the guys have a good relationship, Pretty much we're cool, Some of them we have a tighter bond, so yeah, I would say I'm not combative with women. With men, I can be if it's friction. I know that about myself when it comes to that. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that whole thing, just to kind of like, add to it, did you feel that you were roping the other guys into basically taking the fall for saying, or basically
About the,
Maurier using
I would
combative
say,
in the
not taking the fall. We all agreed together. You know what I'm saying? I've had more moments with her. I've had more combative moments with her. It's not up to them. I'm not gonna answer for them. They have to say it for themselves, and that's why I say it wasn't just me. It was more people felt that same way. That's on them to say it or not. If they don't say it, I don't care. That it's over now. But it wasn't just me. Even the women felt that as well too. I don't know. I think some of them might have said it, but a lot of people, even some of the production and camera people, felt that. So it wasn't just me. It was a uniform of people that felt that. It's just that I was the spokesman, or I was the one that goes out there to take the hit of the word or whatnot, So, but yeah,
Yeah.
but I bear that cross. That's an easy cross to bear. So,
So currently,
mhm.
where do you stand with Jessica? And do you think there's like a future where you guys can reconcile and be probably
Mhm.
cordial?
That's on her. Yeah, like I say, Jessica, yes. Janelle, no.
Why Janelle no?
Yeah,
right. Why Janelle no?
just seeing how the self awareness is not there, in my opinion. So it's like no, I can't. And then I didn't like how she went to go fight Cat. You know what I'm saying? Like that. When we're too grown to want to do something like that. And for the people I care about, like I go hard for them, like I protect them hard. So it's like, no, I don't. That's not cool. We're too. It's I don't know what it is. It's just a level of anger there that I don't want to associate myself with. Period. But Jessica, yeah, I would reconcile. I mean, forgiveness is the most powerful thing you can do. And I forgave her and I forgave myself for what I did. So it's nothing the internet anybody can say that will make me feel bad. Because I've already forgiven both of us in my mind. She might not forgive me, but that's a personal problem. So that's something that she has to deal with and bear. So yeah.
So Cinnamon Brown said this season was the worst, just drama and beef. Like I've never seen a season so rife with drama. Like I've been
Yeah.
complaining about Miami, but man, your
Hmm.
seasons just felt like everybody was
Hey,
fighting.
everything's big in Texas. Everything's big in Texas. Yep.
Including the delusions.
Including, thank you. I have two orders and don't hold the delusion. Just bring that on. Bring me a, du- a double the delusion for me. Take that to go. Back it up.
Because
They're drinking delusion on the rocks out there.
I know. Fully dressed.
the shades that have been flying, you guys have been throwing shades at each other. I'm shocked nobody has gone physical.
Hey, Gigi, that's my spirit. She's my spirit animal. We think alike.
Right. But let's move on because listen, I want to talk
This
about Marvin.
conversation is too much.
Listen,
Move.
I need to know. Now, I think we kind of got into it. Everybody knows my stance, so I don't have to say it.
Mhm.
Do you feel that there was an alliance with Janelle, Jessica, Maurier, and Quentin?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Whether it's
Why do you feel
written,
that way?
whether it was written, verbal, written in blood. I don't know if they all stood around a altar and just cut they palms and shook hands. Um, yeah. I don't know, but that's okay though. I mean, everyone can tell, can see it because the connections wasn't there, in my opinion, and I think in majority of people that watched it, and it's a race, it's an amazing race, get to the end, or whatever. So, yeah, absolutely. Like I don't have no issue with Quentin at all. So it's nothing there. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, so it's not like I'm trying to bash him. Like, there's nothing wrong with them being in the lines. That's on them. That's what they chose. So I'm not saying like a negative thing. It's a negative thing for you guys. I think it's disrespectful for you guys that's watching it and wanting to see some love. But I mean, that's just a choice they made, or I'm assuming that they made, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I would say that it.
That makes sense. So, what's your current relationship with Maurier? And do you think his relationship with Jessica is or was ever genuine? Because I do not know the relationship status.
I think it might have been a moment where Maurier probably liked her. I think Jessica had no physical attraction to him at all, but probably enjoyed the conversation. I mean, he knows how to talk. Um, he can speak whether he's being factual or not. He can hold a conversation. I mean, he had enough free time to call every single girl, text every single girl, you know. And that's what I think. I think that I mean, it's just like when she said, okay, she's not into PDA, but with me, it was different. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I feel it wasn't no attraction on her end, but Maurier's gonna like whoever he can like, whoever gonna like him back. So that's just what it boils down to. So yeah, I think it was one sided probably. You know, yeah.
Are they together?
Who?
Jessica and Maureen.
you
Cause
know.
I know
Right.
Quentin and
Or
Janelle
hold
are no
on,
longer
better
together.
question.
So
Better
go ahead.
question. Can you tell us what possibly separated you from Maurier? Because Jessica had no clue.
What separate? What you mean?
Well,
Oh,
Tommy
that
asked her
separate me.
what separated Maurier from
Man,
everyone else, and it was crickets. So, do
I
you
think
feel
I,
like
I think the separation. I think I really actually care about people. You see what I'm saying? I really actually care about people. I don't think for him to do some of the things he did, I don't think we feel the same about people. Like you can say you black, pro black, this and that. And there's a lot of things. I'm not gonna be shallow in that aspect, but there's a lot of things. If you line us up, we're totally different. You know. And ironically, I didn't even know he brought it to my attention that me and him had the most in common because we lived in the same area. We know a lot of the same people, you know. But if you line up my life and his life, is totally different, and it's just a lot. It's a lot that separates us. But I would say I genuinely care more about people and the aftermath of it, because yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, the other stuff y'all can see, I don't want to compare, apples to oranges like that because I don't want anyone to feel okay, he's being cocky or whatever, anything that would be negatively taken by what I would say. But that's the biggest part.
So
Hmm.
is it together with Jessica?
Who?
Maureen.
Who?
Maureen. Come on.
Hey, you must still believe in Santa Claus, Uche.
she's sipping that Grand Marnier delusion on the
I
rocks?
know, I know.
It's okay.
Hey, it reminded me in the oil field. It was so funny. This is a sidetrack. One of the guys was like so mad. Remember when Jamie Foxx had Orphan Annie, who was a black girl, or whatever? And he was so mad. We can't have anything. I said it's just like when y'all said Jesus was white. Did we get mad? And he got lit. He was so angry. That's what it reminds me of when somebody when they get on here and try to act like they together and Jesus is white. So, but yeah.
So let's move on to Janelle because I got a question about Janelle.
Okay.
So, okay, so it seemed like it was a problem with you saying that you wanted to provide and,
Mm-hmm.
the whole feminism issue.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what part of feminism do you not like?
Perfect. So when I said as far as equality, what society talks about, I was talking about in the physical realm. Like, man, we cannot have children. We can't bear children. As far as I feel women shouldn't necessarily have to go to war and get shot at. I think that's just what I think. Not that y'all can't go to war, but those are my beliefs in that aspect. even in our culture, which the men, we don't really like women having to pay bills and all of that stuff and suffering. Like we search for the soft life, and then she was saying something like, well, we're bosses too, and we do this and we do all of that, blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's fine. The three women that I'm attracted to, Lee, Cat, and Aries, they're all bosses. They all have their own businesses. They're all are very strong. They're all that, but then they're soft as well, because they were saying that you can't be strong and soft. Yes, you can. You definitely can. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely
Um,
can.
and so those were the things I was talking about. And then I even talked about when I was saying women being emotional. I was talking about as far as when there are more men in leadership because of the quickness of decision making. Women, you guys think more. You're more analytical in most times. But sometimes, as far as like if I ask a woman, okay, what do you want to eat? It's like, oh, I don't know, this and that. So that's what I was talking about, and I was talking about in a global aspect of leadership, why this work. Because in some countries they don't even respect women at all, you know. And so those are the things I was talking like from a African man perspective, and people talk about, okay, 50-50. My wife ain't paying no bills unless she just want
I'm
to,
not doing
you know.
50-50.
Look, say that for the people in the back. They didn't
Yeah,
hear
that
you.
that's
Say
that's
that.
that's just how I feel about it. I don't in my family they don't women don't touch trash and they don't pay bills unless they want to, because trash is beneath the woman.
Say no
Um
to 50-50.
you say no to 50-50. Yeah, and that
Hey,
and that was the thing too, because like in our culture, people have that some of them have multiple wives, but you can only do that if you can afford to have multiple wives. I don't want multiple wives. We might joke on the sister wife thing, but that's just a fun thing that we just joke in between the four of us. But because one woman is a lot, so you got three or four of them. That's yeah, that's a lot. So
especially with different personalities, yeah, that would definitely.
Absolutely. So that's what I was talking about, and it's unfortunate that they cut that off and painted this narrative. And Kat was like, they was looking for a controlling Nigerian, they picked the wrong one, and we had a running joke about that because I don't subscribe to dictatorship when it comes to a relationship. My love language is food and travel, and that's what I subscribe to, and the people around me, we're gonna be financially free regardless, and so that's just what I think about that, because a lot of people try to control people with finances and all other stuff too, but that's not real love, when you do that. So yeah, that's what I was trying to convey, and they just cut it short and pieced up what they wanted to piece up.
Do you have a younger brother?
I
Referring.
guess you got a cousin. Okay, so I'm have to
Just
get your
putting
information
it out
through WhatsApp.
there.
Yeah, and
I'm
Any
just gonna sit. I'm just
feedback?
gonna sit over here and smile. Okay,
yeah,
I'm just gonna
it's like this.
smile.
My sister is here from Abuja right now at my house. When she came, I had to furnish her a car. I had to give her pocket change so she can go and spend. I got a whole room decked out for her. But let me tell you this though, as soon as I picked her up from the airport, we went and got some food, and she automatically started cooking. We got to the house. I came to my office, came back. She already prepared me some fufu. You see what I'm saying? So those are like things that you just naturally whatever. She didn't have to, but that's just in her, and it's in me to make sure she's safe and protected, and she has money to go and spend and get her feet done, her nails done, and be okay and relax. That soft life is something that African men want for their family. And that's just what
But
it is.
I want a younger brother that cooks. I don't.
I mean, I cook. I might burn up something, but I try. I don't. I mean,
No, I
I'm
want the
more of
one
an
that
eater
can
than a
cook.
cooker. Yeah. Hmm. Yes.
See, I
Yeah.
can
A
cook,
person
so
that's
yeah, that's
all
definitely
round.
that wouldn't be necessary. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
leave the cooking and cleaning. Like, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have no problem.
Mhm.
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I'm the type of person that if I get mad and really,
Mhm.
really pissed off, oh, I'm cleaning the whole house. Like, don't
Oh,
say
that's
nothing
perfect.
to me. Let me
Well,
just put on my
you need to
music and I'm
come to
cleaning.
Dallas to
Like,
get mad. I'm gonna send you an
just
address to come get mad at. I want you real upset too.
right. Just make me mad enough. Listen, set the
Exactly.
plate.
As long as I'm not walking out my house with some sunglasses on, I'm good.
Listen. Mm-mm. This is not Black Eye Love Pea or Black Eyed
Black
Peas.
Eyed
Okay, listen here. I swear I'm gonna use that. Black eyes, black love. Like, no, that is not love.
It's
They need to
not.
start using that as on a domestic violence like slogan. Black eyes, not black love.
It's not black love. Oh man. Oh
So
man.
was Ready to Love like was that whole dating thing easy? I know it probably wasn't, but
Man,
was it easy or
it wasn't easy, but I feel everybody should go through something like that. I think for our society, yes, we should, yes. Because you learn
Uchi
you
said would you
learn
say no?
yeah, you need to do it because you learn how to ask the right questions now versus waiting months from now. The stuff we was asking, you you're not gonna ask that up front. And you gotta think about it because when you date in real life, you seeing someone Monday, Friday, maybe twice a month, this and that. We're seeing each other multiple times every day. So you're excuse me, you're like in a pressure cooker, and then you're seeing the people you like talk to other people. You like, and then you got to see how to navigate that too. So yeah, the jealousy was there. All of us had a slight bit of it. Oh, they're doing this. Okay, all right, cool. Or let me step my game up. Or let me do this. Like you're there, and it's fair game because when you're dating, we're all doing it. We just don't see the person who else they dating. We're just not seeing it. And until you're married, you're pretty much single. So that's kind of what's going on. So yeah, I'm glad I've done it. I've learned a lot. Feel like I really know how to ask the right questions now. And yeah, it was a good learning tool. Mm-hmm.
I'm greedy.
Huh?
Men
You
not
would do it?
liking more than one man. So it's not for me.
Okay, what about a 3 man liking you then? What you gonna do?
I don't mind. There are three hoes. I can manage.
Oh, okay. Well,
We will not
yeah,
catch her on the next season of Ready to Love or any season of Ready to Love. Okay.
I know, right?
Definitely you are not making a move, huh?
I know.
Mm-mm. So what exactly do you look for in a partner? Is it
Oh my
beauty?
God.
Physically, I'm looking at physically. I don't want you to tell
Physically, let me
me
cut this up so I can hear
loyal.
what you say. Fit? What you
Like
say?
I
What
don't
you say?
want you to tell me you want a loyal, a calm woman. No, physically,
Mm-hmm.
what do you look for in a woman?
Curves, any type of curves. And African men, we're more attracted to bigger women. Most of the time. So for me, I just gotta have curves. That's just my preference. Whether you're big or small, tall or short, that's just me. Because I've talked to a lot of women, so now it's like what people find physically attractive. What's up, good man? huh? In just a moment, I gotta finish up the other example. Sorry, guys, one of my top realtors that I work with. So for me, it's more of a curvy woman like that part, and smiles. I love when a woman smile. No, if you know it's on the show, I smile probably almost every episode. I'm smiling, so that's very very attractive to me. When a woman is smiling because I know those good endorphins are in them. You know what I'm saying? That joy. So that's just me. It's not like I used to be a button the breast man. Now it's just really just all they curvy. That's it.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
question then. Would you do Ready to Love again or any other dating show? I know you said that there was two that kind of have asked you.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be. I don't want to do competitive dating, um, because I can do it in real life, but for here, it's not as transparent. That's the part that I don't subscribe to that. So yeah, I got my eyes set on other things that's a little bit different from competitive dating and reality shows. Because people love you and hate you in real life. I was in Atlanta and one woman was so mad at me and she was pissed. Okay, okay. And so see, look at y'all costing me some money right now. That's okay. That's okay. I'm the best in the business. He gonna come back. When you got the good product, they come back. I'm telling you, come back. Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we'll round it up so you can make your money. We don't want you, losing money.
It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. We'll be all right. Well, yeah. So that's what. Yeah. As far as another show, not no physical, no competitive dating, but everything else probably I would. Yeah. And it's crazy because I'm a spiritual and religious person too. I feel God put me here so now I can meet people like you guys. People can hear my thought process, my ideology, help somebody else. The other day I went live and a young lady came on with me and we started talking about investments. So she wanted to get into flipping homes and real estate. And with the information I gave her, she was so happy about it. So Ready to Love brought her to my live. You see what I'm saying? So I look at it like that. So regardless of all the naysayers, even somebody that dislike me, if they come to my live and they learn something, that's a win for me. You see what I'm saying? Because we all have a story. Me, I like to make light of life. Because in Africa, we've seen how bad things can get. So here,
Getting worse.
yes, that's the thing. And so that's part of my passion because at a young age, I was walking around with the king, my grandfather, and he's judge, jury, and executioner. So I got to see every last one of that as a little boy. So can't nobody tell me nothing like that. And that's why I have zero fear because I've seen things. So it's like I'm gonna laugh and be happy because America it get worse, it get bad out there. So this ain't nothing to me.
It's getting worse here too, but yeah, definitely not as bad as
Mhm.
it's there.
Nothing
Definitely.
can be as bad
Yeah.
as what's happening in Africa. Sorry.
Oh, it's different. It's
Oh,
different.
I have. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah,
believe it.
it's different. And then there, because you gotta think about it here, it's a lot of safety measurements here. Cowards act hard in safe environments. In Africa, ain't nobody finna be getting away with what they get away here. It's a consequence. So here people will get Twitter fingers, they do all this other stuff, they pop up at people's houses, gonna pop up in Africa. It's gonna be different. It's a level of respect there. So we're big on that. So but yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
So what friendships apart from Aries, Lee, and Katrina did you make on this show?
Oh man, so Taquilla, Eunik, Marvin, Phil, Herbert, Habibi, who else? Leiann, Brandon, Christopher. Yeah, I had some good
That's
friendships.
basically everybody.
Uh-uh.
We've
No, it's
Janelle
not.
and Jessica.
uh, yeah.
So
That's
as
pretty much
your
it. Oh, Sierra. Me and Sierra
outfit,
cool too.
Sierra.
Me
You're
and Sierra
close to
cool.
Sierra? Sierra is
Hmm?
close to Janelle.
No, Sierra hasn't wronged me. So Sierra's cool with Janelle, whatever, but heck, I texted her the other day, hope all is well. She like, oh, thank you so much because this takes a toll on everybody. You know, that's just what it is. So, but she hasn't done anything to me, so I'm not gonna hate her due to who she might perceive to be associated with. People sometimes just trying to get in, fit in. It's like different groups within this reality show with its cast where you have these guys, the good guys, and then you got the evildoers. So I mean, that's what it is. Yeah.
Does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, since leaving the show, as your outlook on love, how did the show impact your love life? And a question from Cutie: would you ever move back to Africa?
Well, I'm actually building in Africa, so I'm in Abuja as well. So I'm gonna develop some stuff there. I like going back and forth because I didn't know I didn't know what all I have until I went 3 years ago. Like I'm inherited so much land there, so I have to go back to be familiar with everything. But as far as for me, I just want to travel. The U.S. or Texas might be my hub, but I plan, and me and my wife, when that comes, are gonna go to multiple places because there's a lot of people that haven't left their town, you know, and I think it's just too much out there to explore. So I would
To
love
stay
for
in one
my
place.
friends and my family to travel with me and travel throughout and just explore life like that. So yeah.
Makes sense.
That's my plan. So y'all gonna have to make sure I got y'all passport. Which I know you got yours. So yeah, we coming.
I'm up for any trip.
Let's do it. Turn
Fully
up.
paid, fully booked. No worries, you can go.
Right.
Let's do it. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, is there any other? Gigi, do you have any other questions before we allow you go?
Honestly, you answer so
Money?
many questions, even like without us asking it, which I completely appreciate. I love your transparency. Like you were so forthcoming and just like,
Thank
hey,
you.
this is what it is. So definitely appreciate it. And we definitely appreciate you coming up on the panel as much as you
Thank you.
have and even, giving us the time. So thank you for taking this time out. And
Thank you so much.
thanks everyone in the chat for actually being here and, participating. So thank everyone. Just
Yeah.
make sure you guys subscribe to our channel as well. Mine are
Subscribe,
Queen's Tea
like,
with Gigi
yes.
Nan and then Talk with Slana. And of course, you can catch Chris on what, Instagram?
Instagram, yes, Naja King one. Definitely catch me on there. I don't TikTok much. I am gonna do a YouTube where I'm gonna teach in financial literacy. How I made my first million, things that I did, and just kind of educate people on that part. Because the thing is, though, it's so much out there that we don't know. And it takes somebody in there to come back and bring all the information out. So, and it's important to have that understanding of education. Yeah.
Well, definitely when it comes out, we will be looking out for it. Let us know so that we can, definitely
Definitely.
post. And anytime you go live, we'll be there. So,
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you
Uche.
for being
Uche.
here.
Uche.
Igor Quinn.
Like people always mispronounce my name.
Yeah.
Uche.
They always
Uche.
mistake it for
One
Uche.
mama.
It's Ucha. It's
Uche.
Ucha. See,
UCHA.
and that thing is, I was saying Ucha, and he was like, you're
I see.
saying it wrong. And I was
Uche.
like,
I said,
oh,
oh, I see.
okay.
Oh, Uche. Uche na.
It's
Yeah, so I
Ucha.
had it right. See,
UCHA, not UCHE.
see,
People always mispronounce.
Mm-hmm.
see, you tried to see,
So,
gave me some false information, Chris. Listen, I thought you had the code.
Well, she didn't have it written on there, but most of the time it
oh,
it,
come
it really
on.
be Uche, but Ucha,
Let me
Uchana.
spell it for you guys. Come on. It's
You
very
told
rare.
me how to say it, and that's how I was
Ucha.
saying it. And he was like, that's not how you say it.
Oh
And I was
yeah, it
like,
is
oh,
Ucha. Is that short for Uchana?
No,
What is it? What's the long abbreviation?
UCHA. Like, this is my name.
Ucha. Okay. I'm going in.
It's very, very rare. This is
Yes,
my
it is.
village. I think I'm the only one bearing that whole name in like my entire area. So
I
when they
believe it.
shout the name, I'm the only one that answer.
Only one answer. Wow. I believe it.
It's not bad. So Chris, we'll let you go. Thank you for
Thank you
what's
guys.
waiting on our trip for the
right.
book.
All right.
So
Thank you later, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
yeah, recaps. Like Ucha is more common. My name is just like I used to ask them why on earth did they name me Ucha? I don't know why. So thank you all for tuning in. I think this would be one of the last interviews we're going to cover in Dallas because Make a Move is starting this Saturday. Oh, Friday. See you guys later. My name, it means light. Ocha. That's the Igbo pronunciation. Ocha. I was actually very light when I was born, but from nowhere, the melanin came and I'm brown skin now. So I think I got that.